Good morning, Canadian Yarn Horde. My name's Alyssa, and today we're just doing a quick project video. So we're going to make this cute little flower finally. I've been showing it for a couple of days now on my daily updates. Ooh, my hair's a mess. As you can see, Willow is back there, and so is Vader. They like to join me. Maya's walking around. So if you are new here, thank you very much for coming. I very much appreciate it. If you're new here, or if you're a return viewer, thank you very much for coming back. I very much appreciate that. I do very much appreciate either of you, and the return viewers and the new viewers. If I could earn your like and subscription, that would be really great. It really does help the channel. Comments help a lot too. Just trying to get the general crap out of the way before I can get into the project. So just a synopsis of what I do here is Monday, Wednesday, Friday, I usually do a quick daily update on what I'm doing in the background, some of the bigger videos I'm working on, or just a project I'm doing to show, or just something I'm working on for whatever reason. Tuesdays, Thursdays, and Sundays, I release project videos where they're smaller, a little bit smaller. Sometimes it will be the larger videos, but a lot of times it's the smaller ones that you can do and follow along. And if you just enjoy watching it, thank you very much. I appreciate that. I'm going to move you over to the overhead cam and I will get started. So for this one, I'm just going to tilt you up a little bit. We're going to use a 4mm hook. You do want something that is a little more like this so you can have the Tunisian work, because this is a Tunisian flower. I am going to be using this color, but it is this yarn, the Bernat Velvet yarn, and I do not have a label for it, and the ball is in quite a bit of a mess. So this is 100% polyester yarn. This one is called Majestic Purple. I don't actually know if they sell those colors anymore, but for the inside the flower, I have a little, this is, I'm pretty sure they called this one caramel, so light caramel, and then a little black stamen. So those are what we're going to be doing to start this. We are going to start our project. You are going to want these. They are an object I got off of Amazon that is for flower usage. So these are flower stems that are bendable. I have had my husband bend it for me, pre-bend it. So to start your stitch, what you want to do is you want to pin. What I like to do for my slip knot is I pinch it between my fingers, pull my fingers out, and push the thread up and through. So now what you're going to do is you're going to chain 13. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, and 13. So now what you're going to do is all of these loops here, you're going to bypass 2, and in the third loop, you're just going to wrap around and pull up a loop. And you're going to do that all the way down now. So wrap around, pull up a loop, wrap around, pull up a loop, wrap around, pull up a loop, and you just keep going down the chain, pulling loops on. This is why this particular kind of hook will work better. Something that gives you a large tapered or a large shaft is what you need. Even if you just grab one of those cheap sets off of Amazon, just to have a good set of long hooks like this for Tunisian if you're interested. So now when I'm done, you're going to wrap the yarn around the hook and bring through 2 loops. Wrap around, bring through 2 loops. You're going to wrap around and bring it through 2 loops. And you're going to do that all the way down this end. And this is Tunisian. I think, actually, that's what I did. So this is slightly different. So I am doing something a little different. That is what you're going to do later, I just realized. So this one starts with a magic circle. So the difference between a magic circle is that's how you make your slip knot. with the magic circle, you don't want to pull it tight yet. So you want to just hold that loop above that you made. This is the loop you made with your fingers, and you're just going to chain 2, 1, 2, and then 6. So you're going to single crochet 6. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6. And then I like to untangle that tail and pull it tight. Yes, Maya. And then you're going to slip stitch and chain 2. So now you're going to double each stitch, which means you're going to increase in each stitch, which instead of 1 single crochet, you're going to do 2, 2, and then 1 and 2. And this is really nice yarn to work with, this Bernat Velvet. I really do like it. It comes in lots and lots of colors. You can get it at Michael's, Len's Mills. It's a pretty standard yarn, easy to come by. I'm pretty sure Walmart has some too, although I'm not 100% sure how many colors they have. So once you've got this one done, so you have that. I don't believe so. 1, 2. Yeah, okay. So now we're going to chain 12. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. Now you're going to skip 2, and in the third one, you're going to do the same thing. Grab each loop. Trying to keep it so you're grabbing the right loop on the right side each time. This is a little more challenging because of the yarn we're using, but it can be done. And this first one will be the hardest to do with this. And I do apologize. I did make this one, I think it was about 3 months ago. I've been meaning to get around to it. Now, I do like to come down and grab one off the ring. So that way you're continually using this to go around the magic ring. So now you're going to loop around and come through 2. Loop around, come through 2. Loop around, come through 2. And you just keep doing that all the way off. Actually, on the last one, you want to, one of the things I did do was I was always coming, so I'd have 3 loops and I'd pull through all of them. That will give you this little bit of a fluttery look at the top, allowing it to have a little bit more of a flowery look. So then you would go chain 1 and 2, and then you grab this top loop and you just go all the way down it. And you're going to do this all the way around the flower base. So all the way around this circle, you're going to repeat this process. So I will show you this one again, and then I'll do one more with you. So it will be one continuous petal. And as you can see, it is just a little bit of work trying to find the loop you want. That would change with a different yarn, but they won't feel as soft or as silky or as nice, to be honest. So now we're going to come here and you're going to come down, and then you're going to go through 2 and go through 2, and you're just going to work it off your needle now, or your hook now, I should say. 2, 2, 2, and now that one more, and now that we have the 3 loops, we go through all 3, chain 3, 2, 3, and then pick up that loop just like you didn't do anything at all. So right there, pick that one up. And this yarn, as I said, is really beautiful, but if you do get it messy, oh my gosh, it's a yarn bar through and through, this velvet yarn. So, but it is machine washable and dryable, I will say that. However, oh, and another thing you will want with this is I like doing the floral tape on the bottom. I have worked with making a leaf. I will be doing that with one of these other flowers I will be making in the future. But there we go. And then pull it all off. One, two, three. And as I said, every time you do that chain 3, you are adding to the scalloped look at the edge of the leaves. And then you're just going to pick up all these loops on the ends. And you're just going to keep going around and around and around. Oh, and I think I used a tiny, tiny, tiny little bit of stuffing. So for this one, you could easily use your scraps if you want to. I have the stuffing, so I'll be using it, but you could easily use the scraps. So there you have it. You're just going to go around the entire circle this entire way this way. And when I come back, I will show you the next step. Okay, so I just finished going around in the circle. I guess I did one more row. I think I did 3 increases, not just 2, but it'll be the same pretty much premises. This one will just be a little bit smaller. So we're going to trim that off, and then we're going to sew up down the side of the flower. Now, it is hard to see this because this is the velvet. So if you do use another yarn like an acrylic, you might see that a little bit more obviously. I'm just doing a quick darning of the 2 side seams. And honestly, I couldn't even see it in here. So I had to feel for it. And then you're just going to seam up. And then we're going to do the tiny little gold piece in the center so that it has just a little bit of contrast in the center, which is why I did pick that. So I'm just making sure there's nothing down here that I didn't sew in yet. There's just a little spot there. And then we're just going to go around and around, tightening this up just so that way I can darn off these ends. So there's this one. And we are now done with the velvet of the red. I am going to, like I said, I'm using a Chanel from Premier Yarn. So it is from the Dollarama or Dollar Tree around here for us as Canadians. And then I'm going to do a plush yarn for the stamens. So there's that. I'm just going to turn that in, trim it off. So there's that. And as you can see, this is one of those yarns that does leave little fluffs all over your table. It is just the color of the yarn it is. So next we're going to grab that yarn. There we go. And we are just going to, so for this we just did a little, I'm just going to do center pull. We're going to do a magic circle. As I said, grab that yarn that you loop you're bringing through and then chain 2. 1, 2. Therefore giving you your magic loop. I like to untangle the tail just so that I can do this. And then you're going to do 6 single crochets. So 1, 2, pull that back a bit, 3, 4, 5 and 6. And I'm not really sure why I went with the caramel. I thought that it was probably closest to the yellow I actually have in the velvet or chenille. So you're just going to slip stitch those two together. Now, normally I would advise tie that in, but because we're going to be sewing them in, you don't need to necessarily worry about that. So we are going to double the crochet stitches here. You want to go through and you're going to put 2 single crochet stitches in each single crochet of your magic circle, which will increase it. 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, and then we're just going to slip stitch this together, leaving a tail, and you are done with this one now. So that guy is done. Now, this guy is, as I said, what you're going to want to do is you're going to want to have just a tiny, tiny, tiny little bit of stuffing. It is not very much to stuff him with. I think that should be good. So that's good. Now what we're going to do is we're just going to start with, oh, it's fleece, not plush. Sorry. So for this, I just did, I'm going to chain 1, 2, 3. And then you're just going to come back down. So 1, 2, and then you're going to do that again. So you're going to come in here, you're going to slip stitch. So there's your first pestle. So you're going to go 1, 2, 3. And I would normally do the center pull, but simply because I'm using so little of this, I'm not gonna. So then you're just going to 1, 2, and then if you can find that center one, your slip stitch, go into it and single crochet it. There's your second stamen. And now you're going to do the exact same thing again. So 1, 2, 3. 1 and 2. Leave a bit of a tail. And then what you're going to do is you want to tie this yarn into exactly where that center your slip knot is again. So you have them almost pulling up. I'm going to then sew that here. So I am just sewing them in, ensuring that that stamen will go into the center of the flower. Grab this other one too. I'm going to try and find a thread that I can go around so they're not both going in the same hole. So when I get on the other side, and yes, this is the good side, what you would normally call the right side, but because it curls in so well, I'm going to use it as the wrong side here. And then I'm just going to go back up, thread through one more time to the center of the stamen, come back down. Got your 3 stamens here. We're going to tighten this up, and then I will show you how to sew it up, and we will deal with the stem. So now, as I said, I'm just going to trim this guy. So there's that one. Now, for this, trim that guy as well. Put it through. Put it through and tie it up with the blacks, and that way you know it won't come undone on you with the black threads. So there, that and the black threads now can be tied up. So it and the blacks are done. So now you have the 3 colors done. There we go. There's your colors. So now what you're going to do is you're just going to roll this up into a tiny, 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 tiny little ball. And you put it in there. I don't think I used. I'm going to push it through. And I think I was very good at how I sewed this. So what I did was I put it right on the edge. And then I just grabbed a loop and I would sew it down. So tighten that up. Get it into place first before worrying about the stuffing. It actually really helps if you do that. And then you can get to halfway or a little bit more, and then you can then come back and stuff it then. And that way you're not fighting with the stuffing and making your job a little bit harder for yourself. Now, one thing you want to do before you tighten up as well is put your little stem right through the center of your actual flower. Go through, pull down. So you want to do this before you have it all sewed up. Go. Put a little stem in there, a little stuffing in there, and then you just want to keep sewing it up. You just keep going. It is a little awkward, as you can see, while I'm trying to sew everything up with the camera in the way, because this thing does not want to cooperate exactly how you're sewing it up. But as I said, just keep grabbing it. Try and grab one little thread. Grab the next one. You might go through. I'm hoping not to. I'm hoping I did a good job on this one as well. Just grab the top thread so you don't actually see the brown in the center. It takes a bit of patience and a little bit of looking and watching where you're grabbing, because the outer flower will be visible. Oh, I'm going to come through and just kind of finish off by darning it up. I'm going to trim. And as I said, the Premier yarn, as nice as it is, the Premier chenille yarn is very, very nice. As you can see, it does shed as you're working with it, especially when you're getting to an end piece. So there you have the inside of the flower. Just get a little hint of the brown with the red in there. And now this next step, oh my goodness, all of these little fluff balls. It is, I have to admit, the one thing about the Premier is it definitely does shed. So if you do not like a shedding yarn, this is not going to be one of your favorites. And now I just have to grab, I had an open one. Nope, I don't have an open one. Alrighty. Ooh. Okay, so now to finish this off, this is floral tape I did just get from Dollar Tree. They did have just a tiny little bit of it left. The only other place I can think of, because I could not get any at Michael's, was, Walmart, was Michael's. So if you do want to grab floral tape, apparently this stuff has tape on the end of it to keep it in place. Now what you want to do with the floral tape, I try to keep it neat and organized. See, you do see a little bit of that, but you can manipulate it just a little bit so that hopefully you don't see too much of the gold coming through, or the caramel, I should say. And you just kind of want to work that on. There we go. Stuff. Okay, the old stuff used to stick to itself. I am not sure if this will, or if you have to really get it started. And you just kind of, yeah, the old stuff was a little bit stickier. This stuff is not as good. So once you get it started, just keep coming down and just keep winding it down. And you just want to keep going over and over and over. Pushing downwards if you have to, just in case you don't want to pull it off of the stem, which can happen. Oh, just keep winding, winding, winding. This is the nice thing about floral tape. As I said, normally the old stuff used to be better. I guess they've changed it a little bit, and this is not my favorite, but it is what it is. And the stuff at Dollar Tree could be very different than the stuff at Dollarama, and the stuff at Dollarama might be a little bit different than the stuff at Michael's. So as I said, you just want to keep rolling. I like to come back up actually because I like to have a nice, maybe not thick stem, but thicker, and just give you a final nice finishing look to any mistakes you might have made, because you're just kind of working a little more into the, I do not know why I did that at the end here. Seems like the more you work with it, the more you kind of get these, I guess the glues, adhesives working towards your project. So there you have it. We're just going to tighten that up. So there you have it. I hope you enjoyed the project video today, and I hope you have a wonderful day. Bye.